The Center for Disease Control has been notified. We have an epidemic. What's up, dudes? Maximilian here, and it shouldn't come as a shock to anybody that rage quitting is a huge problem and spreads rampantly amongst online fighting games. Of course, the natural resolution to do something about this is to punish the people that rage quit and to allow the victory to people that don't. However, in a lot of situations, this isn't as clear-cut as that. Understanding a little bit of how netcode works and how internet stability works when you play online fighting games, it can be very difficult to understand who actually quit out, how they quit out, and the process of awarding a win to somebody else. A lot of fighting games have talked about doing stuff regarding rage quitting, and in a lot of situations, things have not gone very well. Examples of Rage Quitter Hell, which was quote-unquote described for the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 game, never really happened, and whether or not it was a real thing, we don't know. But other games have had it much worse. With the first few months of Injustice's release, Injustice rage quitting was a gigantic problem. But now we have Killer Instinct, a fighting game whose online capabilities are really high in regards to most, and it runs extremely well. The bigger issue is that there is a gigantic rage-quitting epidemic going on right now. So many people within lower ranks, or even some within higher ranks, rage quit out of matches, and even though personally I don't run into this as often, it's maybe 1 out of every 20 games for myself, I can understand why people would be a little cautious of rage quitting against a dude who puts up videos online. But for anyone else, casually playing Killer Instinct or just trying to rank up and make some progress online, dude, this stuff is a big problem. At least the win is not going in favor of the rage quitter. When somebody rage quits on you, nobody gets the victory, and it just goes flat out from that point forward. The sad part is that rage quitting in fighting games is, like we said, a difficult thing to identify as far as who the perpetrator is for rage quitting, and not a lot of companies do anything about it. That's the biggest problem, is that since it's so difficult to do something, a lot just avoid the issue completely. However, there has been some things in recent first-person shooters and other games that have online lobbies where they do something about dudes that quit out all the time. This is not something that is just select to fighting games, it is select to all online multiplayer games. And we've made videos talking about this before, and especially with a fighting game, rage quitting hurts a fighting game online extremely bad, because it's not a lobby. It's not like you can repopulate the lobby and get someone in there. We made a video talking about this, I think last year, about how bad rage quitting is for something like a 1 vs. 1 video game, especially a fighting game. Luckily, and we're getting lucky here, and hopefully other fighting games take suit after this and, heck, emulate it, but there actually is something that is going to be done with this with Killer Instinct. Recently on the live stream on the Microsoft side, they were talking about the upcoming patches coming out for KI, and the next one is going to be focusing on Spinal. But within the Spinal patch, they said they have something special going in for rage quitters. They did not say specifically what it is, but it's good to know that they are actively doing something about it. Seriously, when I see people talking about Killer Instinct online, it's either that, oh, the netcode is really good, or oh my gosh, I'm getting rage quit on all the time. Thank God the folks at Double Helix and Microsoft are actually paying attention enough to do something about it. Now, we don't know exactly what they're going to do, but you have to think about what happens when a rage quit does happen. Essentially, you're able to look at the players that were playing, and you're able to identify, okay, this match ended quickly, or it ended prematurely. You can identify it, that's the thing. Sometimes identifying who ended the match prematurely can be fairly difficult, because some infrastructure stuff with the netcode and how Xbox Live or PlayStation Network, a lot of different factors come into case here. But you can look at the match and decide that, yes, these players were in a match that did end prematurely, so what you can do is look at patterns. Killer Instinct and a lot of fighting games collect all your data, all your records, your wins, your losses, how many punches you threw, all this data, and we already went over that before in a previous video talking about the stats of KI. If they can actually identify that this guy has had disconnects so many times in a row, we don't know if it was him, but it's pretty unlikely that he's gotten into like 15 games straight, where he's rage quit on every single game. You know what I mean? I think that that's a better way to identify what's going on. To put a cap, like a certain amount of times that they might have disconnected out of a game, or this player has disconnected, and that's a bit suspicious, and do something like, whether or not that something is matching them up with other rage quitters, that's what they talked about with Ultimate Marvel 3, but we don't know if it really happened. Or doing something really special, like actually adding a rage quitter icon above their name or something like that. I don't know what exactly they're going to do, but something needs to be done, because this has been a gigantic problem for fighting games literally since 2003, when they started debuting on the original Xbox console. I think even Jeff Gerstmann, who played Capcom vs. SNK 2 online quite a bit, made a video about this over like 10 years ago, telling people to stop rage quitting because it's a huge problem. Accept your losses, accept the fact that you lost, and learn from it. Because all that rage quitting does is make you look like a gigantic asshole. Please don't do it for anybody that's watching this, and learn from your mistakes. My name is Maximilian, thank you dudes very much for watching, and what do you think they should do to rage quitters? Leave a comment below, and have you run into a lot of rage quitting within playing online fighting games as of late? Once again, thanks for watching, guys, and if you'd like to check out the previous rage quitting video that I made not so long ago, you can click the link on the annotation on screen right now. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next time.